I touched my friend's face, who had recently been in a car accident, and she became beautiful again, like a snap of a finger. Nancy looked at herself in the mirror, and she cried tears of joy, because just a few minutes ago, she couldn't see her own reflection, which not only disgusted her, but also other people. Huge bruises, abrasions, and burns covered her skin, but now, Nancy was beautiful as ever. I was expecting another wart to pop up on my body, or a huge ugly mole. But for a friend, I was willing to put up with it. Hi, my name's Kelly, and I have the miraculous ability to make all people beautiful with just a touch. However, such a unique skill does not apply to me. It all started in junior high school. I saw a girl crying because she was compared to Chewbacca from Star Wars. It was because she had long brown hair, and her face did remotely look like Chewbacca. I never made fun of her. On the contrary, I tried to be friends with her. But for the first time, I was jealous. This girl tore up my drawing for the contest. Why did you do that? I almost burst into tears. Because you're beautiful, she shouted, and then she ran away, because one of the boys drew a picture of Chewbacca and started teasing her. Despite the offense, I ran to find the girl, and when I found her, I touched her face and said, "How I wish you were beautiful." We both screamed when a golden glow appeared. I thought it was the Winx fairies coming, but it was my magic, mine. My classmate immediately changed. Her face became different, beautiful, and no longer resembling Chewbacca. From then on, the boys didn't tease her. They started chasing after her. They gave her candy bars, chewing gum, and little trinkets. I was in for a nasty surprise. I had a scar on my arm after the magical help. Because I was shocked, I did not pay attention to it at first. After all, it was small and in an inconspicuous place. I did not say anything to my parents, cause my childish brain thought that they'd forbid me to use magic, and I wanted to stand out in some way and be super cool among the other kids. So I kept quiet and waited for the right opportunity to feel like the fairy godmother from Cinderella again. Well, or from Shrek. She's very charismatic, don't you think? But fortunately, the perfect moment was never coming. So I decided to try the magic on myself. I went to the mirror, I put my hands on my face, and then I heard a pop outside, and it made me and my beloved cat jump. I ran to the window, expecting to see the apocalypse, or a zombie uprising, or something worse, a clown taking over the city. But it was just a firecracker that my dad was checking out, since he was preparing a surprise party for my sister. I exhaled, and then I cried because nothing happened to my face, and my little baby brain had figured it out. That magic doesn't apply to me. That's how I lived with the knowledge that I was a real wizard, with no one to use my powers on. But when I got to high school, I was faced with a lot of pimply teenagers who were terribly self-conscious about their looks. So, in the early days, I started doing charity work, getting boys and girls out of their ugliness, and making them almost the most beautiful people in the world. However, I felt the full consequences when I went to the mirror and saw a bunch of pimples on my face. I'd never had pimples. And there were some warts on my neck. I screamed all over the school hallway, and then I fainted from the shock. I was brought to my senses in the medical office, and I immediately started rambling on that I was turning into a toad. They blamed it on basic nervousness at the new school. But it wasn't that. My magic was working against me. I'll never use it again, because I didn't want to go from beautiful to monster. What if next time my whole body gets hairy? Or grow a nasty mustache? Ugh, I didn't even want to think about that. The whole school quickly found out about my gift, and the kids split into two camps. Some believed in my abilities and wouldn't give me a pass, begging me to fix their defects. And others thought I was a crazy freak. Well, at least they didn't bother me. Seeing that I was tormented, Nancy didn't stay away. She quickly dispersed my abusers, because she was practically the bully of the school. "Are you okay?" she asked, when some assholes wanted to throw a bucket of dirty water on me. I am now, I said, looking at her gratefully. I noted that Nancy had a very cute exterior for a bully. She should wear pink Hello Kitty clothes or cosplaying anime girls instead of walking around school in a tracksuit and scaring the kids. I can see that you're getting harassed here. I'm not gonna let you get hurt. You helped my little sister, and now I'm going to help you. She held out her hand to me, and I shook it tentatively. Will you be friends with me for nothing? I clarified, because right then, they only wanted to communicate with me because of my gift. And why not? Friendship should be unselfish, said Nancy. That's how I made a friend in the form of the school's biggest bully, who got into some kind of fight almost every day. She often showed up at school with bruises on her face, but never asked me to fix it, thinking I shouldn't use my gift if it hurt me. However, that principle had to be broken when Nancy got into a car accident. I was so worried about her, I called her parents to see how she was doing. And a few days later, when I could, I visited my friend in the hospital to have a chat, and also to help her regain her former beauty, because I knew how Nancy felt and cried about it. I wasn't sorry to sacrifice my looks, because Nancy had stood up for me many times, and even put up fights to keep people off my back. As a result, I had a big bruise on my cheek. It wouldn't go away, and it hurt all the time. It was very unpleasant to look at. But when I saw happy Nancy, I didn't care so much about a little bruise. Sooner or later, it would go away anyway. I'm sorry it happened to you, Nancy said when we were walking around town. It's okay, it's only temporary. I smiled, and then I hugged my friend. I managed to cover my bruise with foundation. I could barely see it. I was still beautiful, because the pimples were almost gone from my face. And the warts on my neck, I was lucky to cover up with the fashionable scarf. I promised myself that I would definitely not use magic anymore until I got rid of all the consequences. But, of course, things didn't go according to plan. 2 new students came to our class at once, a girl named Lila and a guy named Kim. I liked Kim immediately because he had such sweet looks. He also had such a cute smile. I smiled back at him like an idiot for hours and waved at him for some reason. One day after class, Nancy told me that I was looking at Kim with my mouth open, and I was embarrassed. I bet the guy thinks I'm some kind of fool now. He hadn't looked in my direction all day, and I realized I'd totally embarrassed myself in front of him. Well, that was the first time I'd ever liked a guy, and the universe decided to mock me and rob me of any chance of reciprocity. Lila, on the other hand, was more outgoing, which was weird, because she was just a mouse, and she didn't look so good, because she had acne stains on her face. Lila was terribly embarrassed about it. She once confessed that she'd spent thousands of dollars to get rid of the blemish, but she just got terrible allergies along the way. I'll never be pretty like you girls. I'm a loser, Lila cried, and Nancy hugged her. The pity overwhelmed me so much that I put my hand to the girl's face, and we were dazzled by a golden glow. Lila was beautiful in an instant, and Nancy looked at me disapprovingly because she didn't want me to suffer for others. But I wasn't sorry, at least not that day, because I was sorry the next day. And not because of a few spots on my face. It was because Lila started flirting with Kim. At first I thought I was just imagining things, but she kept doing it day after day. And my friend knew I really liked the guy. She also knew that I felt terrible about acting like an idiot. How could you, Lila? I helped you. Thanks, but it's not my fault Kim doesn't like you. He likes me, and you better get rid of those ugly spots on your face. You're a laughingstock. I was so hurt. I couldn't hold back my tears. I ran to the bathroom to cry in peace, to think of how unfair life is. But on the way, I ran into Kim. Are you all right? He asked, helping me up. Yes, no. It's a shame, I whispered, and I blushed terribly, because I was ugly now, with stains on my face, with my mascara smeared and my foundation dripping. You're upset about something, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Would you like me to buy you an ice cream so you can tell me all about it? I said yes right away, And after school, we went to a cafe where Kim ordered chocolate ice cream for me. I told him about my gift, about helping Lila, and how she humiliated me, and she seemed like a nice girl to me. I didn't expect her to do that. You're a good person, Kelly, for helping people, but you have to put yourself first. And if you're not comfortable seeing yourself like this in the mirror, you need to take care of yourself. That's what Nancy was telling me. But it was so nice to hear Kim say that. And I've made up my mind. And I wouldn't help people unnecessarily anymore. Kim and I used to hang out at school together, which made Lila really mad. She was like an angry gargoyle. One day, she wanted to embarrass me, pulling up my skirt in front of all of my classmates. But as soon as she did it, Nancy and Kim immediately stood up for me, and also the other classmates I'd helped once. They brought Lila to tears. But that wasn't all. Somehow, magically, Lila's old looks came back to her, and she wasn't pretty anymore. Apparently, my magic can work backwards too, if the person I'd helped once was going to hurt me. The girl was on her knees begging me to make her look pretty again, but I wouldn't even listen to her, and I just let it go. She deserved it all. Meanwhile, I was very happy with Kim, who asked me out, and we became best friends with Nancy, who was always ready to stand up for me. Do you think Lila deserved this kind of treatment? Write your answers in the comments, like the video, and share it with your friends. Share it with your friends.